Leasing a car allows drivers reliability and luxury, all with a low monthly payment. But in this video, we're going to be talking about how car leasing works and why the low monthly payment doesn't always equal low costs. Hey guys, welcome back to the College Investor, Investing and Personal Finance for Millennials. We're going to be talking about car leasing. This is a big topic because I know a lot of us get really close and sentimental with our cars, and there's some sort of flashiness with car leasing, right? You get to jump into oftentimes a luxurious vehicle, drive it around, and in that purchase price, you get to take it to the dealership for service and repairs, and that's just covered. Well, I want to talk about more than just that monthly lease payment because there's actually more cost that goes into car leasing. So when you lease a car, you're actually paying to drive the car. So you pick out a car, you put a lease on it, and then you're paying every single month to drive that car, and that is it. You're actually not putting any money towards purchasing that vehicle. You're just simply paying to drive the car, and that can be a very expensive way to get around in driving a car. Also, when you lease a car, you're driving it up to a certain amount of miles. Oftentimes, these leases will have mileage caps, and if you go over, 10,000 miles in the year, you're going to have to pay excess for that mileage and cover that cost. Now, when you're done with the lease, you simply return it to the dealership and then you can move on. Speaking of moving on, there's actually 3 different options that you have when your lease is up. The first is to actually go ahead and purchase the vehicle outright. Now, the cost of that vehicle is going to be determined in that original contract, so make sure you are poring over those terms. If you have just a little inkling in your head, if you are going to want to purchase that vehicle at the end of your lease. So this could be an option for you if the car's value is worth more than what that lease purchase price is inside of that contract. Your second option is you can just walk away from the vehicle. You just do your lease terms, you return it to the dealership, and there's no obligation to re-up that lease or do something else or purchase the car. You can just be done with it and return the car. And then your third option is to just start another lease and do the whole process over again with another vehicle. And if you've already done a lease with them before, you may have more negotiation power to determine what that lease monthly payment is, or maybe avoid some of these upfront charges. That is also an option. And speaking of fees, let's go ahead and talk about the charges because it really is more than just that monthly lease payment. You'll also have an upfront charge. It's typically called the capital cost reduction charge. Now, it's not a down payment, but it is money that you put down up front, and it can slightly reduce your monthly payment, but understand that you don't get that money back. That money is just gone. Then there's the monthly lease payment, the actual monthly payment amount that you put towards driving that leased car every single month. Now, that includes depreciation, service and insurance, interest fees, use tax, and gap insurance. And then lastly, you'll have end of account charges. So as I was mentioning, if you go above that certain mileage criteria within the year, you'll have to pay for any excess mileage that you've put on that leased car and pay for that. Also, if there's any unusual damage, and that's all outlined in your contract terms, remember to make sure to read over all of that, because if there's any damages to that car, you could be on the hook for paying additional to cover the cost of repairs. So you may be wondering, will I lose money by leasing a car? And the short answer is yes. Car leasing is very expensive, and maybe I could understand if you are making mad money and you don't have to drive very often and you just want something for fun to putz around in for a year or two. maybe I could see that, but very rarely does car leasing actually end up being a good idea because you're going to lose money on this. Now, there's a couple of general rules of thumb when it comes to car buying. The first way that you could buy a car, because buying a car is going to be a lot better idea than just leasing a car. So if you're going to buy a car, your first option is to do a 20-4-10 rule. So that's 20% down, 4 years financing, and the car payment is 10% of your take home. And so that could be an option for you. Your second option is the 10% rule. Now, I doubt that there's going to be a lot of people that fall into this camp, but basically the 10% rule is to purchase a vehicle that is 10% of your annual income. So let's say you make $50,000 a year, then the 10% rule would be to buy a car that's worth $5,000. Now, I don't know very many people who adhere to this type of rule. So then there's the 1% rule, which would be to divide the monthly payment. We're going back to the car lease option. Divide that monthly payment by the sticker price of that car, the MSRP. And if the ratio is 1% or less, then the lease is okay, a deal that you could consider if you were going to lease. But the last option, and the one that I personally use, is to buy your vehicle outright in cash. So you have no car payment, you are done with it in one fell swoop, and you are moving on with your life. With no car payment in mind, that means that you get to put your monthly payment that you would have spent on a car towards other financial goals that are really going to build and increase your net worth, or do something that you truly love instead of putting it towards a car payment. Now I get it. Car buying and car leasing is a very personal choice, and it can be an emotional one. We spend a lot of time in our vehicles commuting to and from work, picking up kids, going to the grocery store. So you have to do what's best for you. But if you want more information on car buying, car insurance, how to save for a car, then make sure you check out all of our free resources on thecollegeinvestor.com.